to ensure the efficiency and effectiveness of production can be called as production system. There is a mass production that is done and it is carried out continuously in anticipation of the demand for that particular product in the market. The companies having continuous production system, they need to maintain the immediate maintenance system and reliability in their organization. Hello everyone, I am Nikhilavati S, Faculty of Commerce, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. Welcome to the session 3 of the Unit 1, that is Introduction to Production and Operations Management of the subject Production and Operations Management. In today's session, let us discuss about the production system. So what is production system is all about, and what are the different types of production that happen in a manufacturing function. So as we studied in the previous sessions too, production is all about transforming the inputs into the outputs, that is transforming the raw materials like men, material, money into the finished goods or services. So here a production system is a framework that is used by the organization, especially the manufacturing industries, to transform inputs like raw materials, labor and machinery into outputs, that which are finished goods or services. So this transformation process of converting the inputs into the finished goods or output involves several steps and activities designed to ensure efficient and effective production. So for the smooth functioning of this transformation or the process of converting the raw materials into the finished product or a service, whatever the steps that are involved or the activities that are designed in order to ensure this transformation on conversion or to ensure the efficiency and effectiveness of production can be called as production system. So the production system consists of various components like inputs or outputs, etc., where it is designed in such a way that any variation in one component will affect or cause the variance in another component. So there are many elements that are involved in the process of this production system. So this involves various elements like inputs, outputs, storage, transportation and information. So let us study the elements of production system one by one. So first we have inputs. So here inputs are all kinds of resources, either maybe material resources or raw materials or human resources that are used in the production process. For example, it will include raw materials or various parts that are used for producing the final good, or the money or the human efforts or the capital equipments, etc. These inputs are used in the production process and various series of operations are done in order that it goes through a conversion process in order to get output. So here outputs are the finished goods which are produced out of a series of production process. So here the output is the final good or service which generate revenue to the business. So next element we have in a production system is storage. So production system also involves storage because there is a need of the place for storing the raw materials or from moving the raw materials from one process to the another process. There is a gap between that. So in order to store that materials that are in moving or the raw materials or to store the finished goods, we need storage facility. So another most important element of the production system is transportation. So transportation also come under the element of production system because the raw materials are transported to the place of production and from one operation to the other or from one process to another, the materials are transported from one process to the other. Next, information. So why information is needed in production system means in order to get the information whether the production process is running smoothly or not, or whether there are any disturbances or machinery breakdowns that are caused, or after the production of the goods, taking feedback whether that particular good is properly produced or not. So for all this, getting to compare the products, or to have a quality check, or to get the feedback about a particular product from the customers or from the production unit or from other clients, it is important to have information. So information also plays as an element of the production system. Moving on to the types of production system. Basically, we have two types of production system. One is continuous system, the other one is intermittent system. So first, let us discuss the continuous system. As the name itself indicates, continuous system, or it is also called as flow system. It refers to, according to Buffer, he says, continuous flow of production situations are those where the facilities are standardized. That means for every production of particular unit of that particular product, you have a standard set of machineries or standard set of qualities that are set for the products, or the standard procedure or routing is there. So the facilities are standardized as to routings. That means how a product should move right from the input stage to the final good. So every production consists of 5 to 6 or minimum 3 to 4 steps, where it passes through these steps and becomes a final product. So these routing, or the process in which a raw material should move till it becomes a final good, is refers to routings. And flow, since inputs are standardized, because here it passes through the standardized routing, because even the inputs that are used to produce such kind of goods are also standardized. For example, automobile industry is a continuous production system. Why? Because if we take the examples of vehicles, those move through a standardized routing because the inputs are standardized. That means here the inputs, like the various parts that are involved to manufacture a car, or the parts that are involved to or used to manufacture a bike, are all standardized. Therefore, in a continuous system, a standard set of process and sequence of process can be adopted. That means, in simple words, continuous system or a production system is where there is a standardized route for how a product has to move, and that is because even the inputs that are used for producing such kind of products are also standardized. And here the production happens continuously, and there is a continuous or flow production to the manufacturing of large quantities of a single or most few varieties of products. That means here either a single type of product is produced in a large quantity, or a very few varieties of products are produced, because the system is standardized. They cannot go for producing variety of products, because as it passes through the standard set of process and sequences. And the mass production is carried on continuously for stock in anticipation of demand. So here there is a mass production that is done, and it is carried out continuously in anticipation of the demand for that particular product in the market. For examples, automobiles or consumer electronics like mobiles or laptops, etc. So let us see some of the advantages of continuous production system. So one of the main merit or advantage of the continuous system is that work in progress inventory is minimum, because here the production happens continuously throughout the year. So the company need not store a big or a large amount of inventory. So on a day-to-day basis, it can order the inventory that is required for the production, and it can maintain its inventory in minimum level, because as continuous production is there, even the continuous supply of the inventory can be made. Then the quality of output is kept uniform. So here the quality of the finished goods or a product is always uniform, because each stage, that means each stage of production, goes through a skill through repetition of work. Because here a product passes through a standardized set of process and it passes through a same process. So there is no chance that the quality of one product differs from the quality of another product. So quality can be maintained. One more merit is that any delay at any stage is automatically detected, because it passes through a continuous and a series of process which is done continuously. So even if one process is disturbed, it will be known, because if one process is disturbed, it will not move to the next process. So it will cause automatically, we can easily identify where the problem exists. So any delay that is caused in the process of production can be easily detected. Then handling of materials is reduced due to the set pattern of production line. So as we discussed earlier, in continuous production, there is a standard set process that is there for the production of that particular product. So there is no need to handle extra material, because it passes through a series of automated machineries or automated process. So mostly the materials are handled through conveyor belts, roller conveyors, pipelines, overhead cranes, etc. And there is the advantage of control over materials, cost and output is simplified. Because we will come to know, like, since everything is standardized and we know that how a product should move, like each product moves through certain steps. So, and each product maintains same quality. So, we will know the cost of the product easily. It is not customized kind. So, it is a same standard, same quality of units of that products are produced. So, we can calculate easily what is the cost of material, cost of output. So, all those calculations are made easily, because, and it can be done by semi-skilled workers because of their specialization. So, since we know the process is same monotonous process, or very few changes happen in this production system, because we know everything is standardized. So, the people or the workers working with those machineries will get specialized by daily performing the task in a routine wise or a continuous basis. They will be skilled enough to perform the production task or process. Then coming to the demerits. So, what are the disadvantages of continuous production system means? Since the continuous production system is very rigid, that means it lacks flexibility to handle variations or changes easily. So, as we know, it involves a fixed system or fixed process of operations. It is difficult to make any kind of changes to the products or in the process. So, all the machineries are fixed and the same standard process are fixed. So, it is difficult to make any changes. So, this system is very rigid. Then a fault in one operation disrupts the entire process. So, since in the continuous production system, it involves step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, 5 like that. So, if any problem occurs in step 2, so the products will not move to step 3. So, it disturbs the whole production function. Then faults must be cleared immediately to prevent halting of both preceding and subsequent stages. So, these faults that happen in the production process must be immediately prevented, because any halting of materials either in production 1 or in production 3 can be, because it leads to the stoppage of the entire production line. So, faults must be immediately cleared. One more disadvantage is that it requires maintenance of standby equipments, because to handle sudden breakdowns and avoid production stoppages, as any disturbance in one stage of the production process disturbs the entire process. So, it requires immediate prevention or correction. So, if it is not possible, there is a need to keep one standby equipment. Then investments in machines and equipment are high due to the need for standby equipment. So in the continuous production system, since it involves a standardized or fixed system of production processes, all the automated, it involves automated processes. So all the machineries that are installed will be, and their investments will be more. So it requires more and more investment even to keep one extra standby equipment because of the continuous nature of the system. And at last, so in case of any breakdown or fault, it can result in production stoppages. That means any breakdown in one stage of production also can stop the entire production process. It emphasizes that the need for reliability and immediate maintenance. So the companies having continuous production system, they need to maintain the immediate maintenance system and reliability in their organization. So one more important type of production system is intermittent system. So according to Buffa, intermittent situations are those where the facilities must be flexible enough to handle a variety of products and sizes, or where the basic nature of the activity imposes change of important characteristics of the input. That means here you can make, it is so flexible that the production system is so flexible that you can make any changes you want in that particular product. So in simple means, we can say that here the production happens based on the customization or the change you want in the characteristics or the features of a product. So in simple words, we can say that these are the companies in which the production takes place, or those companies producing customized products based on the demand of the customers. Like if they want any change in the raw materials to be used or in the product design, so however they want, for example furniture company, so that it is always made, or there the production happens based on the need or requirement of the customers. In instance such as these, no single sequence pattern of operation is appropriate. So the relative location of the operation must be a compromise that is best for all inputs considered together. That means here no need to maintain a standardized set of process, and there is no single pattern or a sequence of operations. So in intermittent production system, we have two kinds, that is, one is job production and batch production. Here the job production means the whole process of production happens for completing a single task or single product, for example shipbuilding or construction of dam, etc. So once that construction gets over, so there will not be any other work or production flow that happens. Next, batch production means here the production happens batch wise. That means the manufacturing of certain products, or in small quantity or large quantity or in lots, happen by intervals. That means there is a gap between the manufacturing of products of one batch to the manufacturing of products of another batch. Now let us see the merits and demerits of intermittent production system. So first, to study the merits, intermittent system, it is flexible and can be adopted easily to changes in product design. So here in this type of production, the products can be produced as per the requirement of the customers. So you can make any change you want in the production process or in the design of the product. So for example, furniture company, it can deliver the furniture as per the requirements in different sizes, or the table may be in different designs, etc. And here the fault in one operation does not result into complete stoppage of the process. So since you can make changes easily and the system is so flexible, any fault that happens in one process of the production does not result in the complete stoppage of the process like continuous production system. And it is cost effective and time effective, since the nature of the operations in a group are similar. That means it depends on the it's not like you have to perform the continuous operations in the industry. It is based on the demand that is received by the customers. So the similar products can be produced at same time so that it is time saving as well as cost effective, and there is reduced material handling since machines are close in a cell. That means here also there is no need to maintain a lot of raw materials or storage of materials, because it is as per the demand of the customers. So then the waiting period between the operations is also reduced. So as and when the demand is received, there you can go for production of goods and services, and you can just render them to the customers. So there is no waiting period, as the number of operations is not so standardized and it is not done continuously. Moving on to the demerits of the intermittent production system. Here it's a complex system of production. So here it is complex because every product can be, the design of the product changes every time, or it is as per the demand of the customers. So here the manufacturer cannot expect what the customer requires, or what the demand, or what kind of unique products the customer expects. So every time the design changes, or it involves some kind of uniqueness or creativity. So it is a complex system as the process is not standardized, and it has a complex schedule of activities is required to ensure smooth flow of work without any bottlenecks. It is a complex schedule of activities because here you will not have a particular schedule of production. So it is as and when the customers want, you need to be prepared to produce the products. So we can't expect when the demand will be high, when the demand may be low. So there is a complex schedule of activities, and also you need to have a proper schedule to make sure that there is a smooth flow of work without any kind of delays. So here the raw materials and the work in progress inventories are high due to uneven and irregular flow of work. So it is not continuous process that happens all the time, but since you don't have exact estimate of how much raw materials are required, sometimes it is better to keep extra storage of raw materials and work in progress, and that causes high costs due to the uneven or irregular flow of work, and workloads are unbalanced. That means there is no fixed time for the work that happens, because it depends on the demand of the customers. So if the demand for the product is more, then there may be requirement to work more time, or the speed of work may be made faster. But if the demand is slow, then there may be speed of work may be slow, or sometimes the unit costs that are involved for producing that particular products may be high, because there is no standardized process. So every time a product, to produce it, it goes through certain steps. So every time as per the designs or changes that you make, it involves the cost. So cost involved is also differs. So this was all about the production system, the types of production. Hope you have understood the topic. Thank you.